Shame would have to be the number one thing that stops people in their tracks from fully realizing their potential. And that's true for witches and Wiccans as it is for everyone. So today what I want to do is share with you the shadow shame work, and at the end of this video I'm also going to give you a little practice that you can do to help you deal with the shame gremlin. Hi, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com, and if you're new to the channel and you want to learn more about how to be a witch or a Wiccan, as well as shadow work, hit the subscribe button below so that you don't miss a thing. So shadow work is a very important part of Wiccan practice. It's that inner work, know thyself, learning about who we are, why we think the way we do, why we act the way we act, why we don't act the way we want to act or should act. All of these things is to do with our subconscious and our subconscious programming. And shadow work is about going into those dark, murky places of the subconscious mind. And it's dark not because it's bad and not because it's evil or anything like that. It's dark because we can't see anything, okay? We can't see it. We don't know it's there. That's why it's dark, okay? So we have to shine a light on it so that we can actually navigate our way through it. And that's all the shadow work really is about. It's about getting to know ourselves and what makes us tick and unraveling all of the social programming that has not been helpful to us. Some of it has been helpful to us. Some of us has been able to allow us to integrate with the community and be compassionate members of a community and fit in with people and work within that community environment. But a lot of the conditioning that we've experienced has also been harmful to us as individuals. So this is where shadow work comes in, to heal what needs to be healed. Witches and Wiccans, we carry a lot of shadow stuff, not just from this life, but from past lives as well, where we have been persecuted in the past. So we're not just carrying stuff from this life, this is stuff that goes back in history as well. So there's a lot of work there on an energetic level, this life and in past lives, to heal. So a lot of us experience a lot of pain in our lives, whether it be physical ailments, mental health ailments, emotional health, all sorts of things. We really do seem to have a lot of struggle in this community. And a lot of the stuff that we struggle with is around shame. Even being a witch or a Wiccan still brings up the shame gremlin for me. Telling people what I do, I still feel a sense like there's this subconscious fear of being judged and of being criticized. And whilst that is real, because there is true judgment, criticism and persecution still out there in the community for sure, it's like it's on a subconscious level. There's this expectation still in the world that the witchcraft is still associated with all of these really nasty things, and it makes us less likely to come out about who we are. I think we're the only religion on the planet that can't actually freely express who we are without getting something coming back at us, whether it's some sort of snide remark or joke, or somebody really taking offense to it and wanting to shut us down. I think we're the only religion on the planet. Anybody knows of any other religion on the planet that's suffering from the same type of persecution as we do? Let me know in the comments field, because I'd really love to know. Because although there's always a lot of religious prejudice out there in the world, I think we are the ones that can't actually say what we are and feel comfortable about doing it. So yeah, do let me know in the comments field if you know of any other religion that has the same problem. So shadow work, shame is something that I've had a lot of experience with. So it's not just me dealing with my shame gremlins when I'm coming out and telling people what I do, especially now that I do this for a living. It's like people ask, well, what do you do? And I tell them, okay, I teach Wicca and witchcraft. And I also tell them about the EFT as well. And I have to admit, I feel a lot more comfortable with telling them about EFT than I do sometimes about telling them about the Wicca and witchcraft. Most people, in fact, just about everyone I've met so far when I've had to tell them this thing, and that business environment is being quite open and okay and good about it, but I'm still carrying this learned shame from my childhood of growing up in a culture where Wicca and witchcraft is shamed. So when it comes to shame, what it does is it stops us from fully expressing who we are in the world. Because when we were children and we were fully expressing ourselves in the world, we were judged for it, criticized for it, called names for it, like, you know, don't be so stupid, don't be so greedy, don't be so selfish. And that causes us to feel shame about who we are. So when we become adults and we're wanting to go out in the world and express who we are, and I know that pretty much most of the Wiccans and witches that I talk to about this stuff are either really creative people who want to create things and maybe sell them, or they want to do healing work and help people and do all sorts of really great things out there in the community. But what's stopping them from doing it is all of these beliefs about themselves and their ability to be able to make a living doing it. And that comes, of course, also from fears of not deserving, fears of what are people going to say if you do go out and do this sort of stuff as a business, all sorts of shame stuff around it. So it really does stop us from being able to step out and do what it is that we're wanting to do. And shame feels real. It's an emotional feeling of fear that we feel in our nervous system when we think about doing something. That we may call it embarrassment. We may say, oh, I'll be too embarrassed to do a Facebook Live, for example, or I'd be too embarrassed to do this, or I'd be too embarrassed to do that. That's just another name for shame. So in order to be able to fully express who you are in the world, and as a witch or a Wiccan, you need to be able to do this. You need to be able to stand in your power. You need to be able to stand in your potential. I mean, we all do. And if we want to make these positive changes in the world, like to help the environment, to help Mother Earth, to be able to put more of that healing out into the world, for the creatives to be able to create things in the world, then we need to be standing in our power and feeling confident about who we are, our value in the world, and what it is that we're doing. So I'm going to give you an exercise that you can do for yourself that will help you get in touch with the shadow shame gremlin. Your shadow, or your ego, that ego part of you, is there to keep you safe. That's its whole point. It's an ally. It's not a foe. It's an ally. The reason why it causes so many problems in our lives is because it's trained. It was trained back when we were between the ages of 1 and 7 years of age. So we've got an ego that's really only about 5 or 6 years old running the show. So you can imagine a 5 or 6 year old trying to run an adult show. It's not going to be good. So all it is updating the program so that the ego, instead of being a problem for us in our lives, actually becomes an ally for us in our lives. And in a shamanic sense, it's the ally. It is that part of us that is our power, and the part of us that can actually help us bring what we came here to bring out into the world. When you're feeling into the feeling of shame, so the place to start would be to pick something that brings up the feeling of shame for you. Or if you can't think of something with shame, think of something that you want to do but you'd be too embarrassed to do it. You know, you think, okay, I'm too embarrassed to do that. Think of something like that, and then just take a few deep breaths. Let them out until you get into a nice, comfortable, relaxed state. And I'm not going to actually take you through the process. I'm going to just talk to the process, and you can do this at the end of the video. And when you are in a relaxed state, to go into your body and feel that embarrassment or feel that feeling of shame. And go in and see if you can access it. So to say to it, okay, I'm ready to hear what you have to say. And just see whether it appears to you in some way. So this is in your mind's eye. It may come to you in a form. So it may come to you as a figure. It may come to you as a color. It may come to you as a shape. It may come to you as a character or a character that's similar to a character in a movie. It can come to you in very, 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 very different ways. But you kind of want to give it some kind of a form so that you can communicate with it, but allow it to show you what that form is. And when you've got its attention, You simply just say to it, okay, I'm here now and I'm listening. I really want to do this thing. Okay, whatever it is you're wanting to do that you feel embarrassed about or you feel ashamed about. Asking it, what's not safe about me doing this? Just ask it, what's not safe about this? Because it's creating shame to stop you from doing something it thinks is dangerous for you. So dangerous either in, oh, people will criticize you, or people will judge you, or, you know, something might happen, people might kill you. It can get to that extreme where it's programmed to even think that, okay, you know, especially when it comes to witchcraft and Wicca, you know, there's still that fear of being killed, you know. So ask it what it's protecting you from, what it's keeping you safe from, and just see what it says. You're just having a conversation with it and see what it says. And then when it's told you what that is, just really think about it and understand that this part of you causes you anxiety. This part of you may even cause, you know, some sadness and helpless at times. But if you're trying to run away from the feeling, it's just going to yell louder. So by sitting down and listening to it and listening to what it's saying, you're actually going to start to calm your nervous system down in regards to this situation. Just listen to what it has to say. And then just understand that, yes, from this point of view, everything it's saying it does make sense. You know, of course you're going to try and protect me from being ostracized from my family, or protect me from, you know, being criticized and all of the outcomes of that. It makes perfect sense. Once you've listened to it and it really understands that it's been heard, you can actually then say to it, thank you so much for letting me know this. What I'm wanting to do is really important to me. I'm really wanting to do this thing. So whatever it is that's embarrassing, whatever it is that's causing you shame, and then just say to it, I really want to do this thing. And at the same time, I want you to still keep me safe. So how about you just step aside a little bit, give me some room to be able to start to do this and keep me safe at the same time. Now at first it may not agree, but just keep talking to it. And just ask it to take a little bit of space, a little step aside, to give you some room to start doing whatever it is that you're wanting to do in the world that you can't do because of the shame. And once it's convinced that it can still keep you safe, that you still want it to keep you safe, and if you let it know that at any time when it thinks it's not safe for you to continue, that it's allowed to jump in and shut it all down, then it's more likely to actually step aside and let you do what it is that you want to do. So this is a form of a technique that's known as Gestalt. So this is where you're talking to a part of your subconscious mind as if it is actually another being or another character, and it is a part of who you are, but it's making friends with it, and it's setting up new agreements with it. It's updating the program. It's letting it know that it's an ally. You don't think of it as a foe anymore. You want to work with it, but you are the one in charge and you want to give it a new task. So try that exercise. Let me know how you go in the comments field below, because it is really valuable to start to move the shame energy in a way that's not beating yourself up, but in a way that's actually accepting all parts of you, including your ego, which is that part of you you want as an ally, not as a foe. So if you're wanting to know some more things about shadow work and where I introduce a little bit of tapping and techniques, I've got other videos here on YouTube under the shadow work playlist. So do make use of those videos. And if you are after any free stuff on how to start your witchcraft practice, or on spellcasting checklists, there are some freebies in the description field below this video. And there's also a link to my calendar if you want to book a 30-minute clarity session with me, which is free, to have a talk about all of this stuff. If anxiety, if you are wanting to live your potential, but you know there's a lot of stuff that's stopping you from doing that. So take advantage of all of those things. I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com. If you like this video, hit the like button. Don't forget to share it and comment and subscribe, of course, and I'll see you on the next video. Blessed be.